Revelation 1835. From the 28th of February and the 1st of March 1941. Conquering matter. Maintaining the spiritual. The course through matter is an endless long imprisonment for the beingness, and therefore the becoming free must mean a redemption for the being. The more oppressive the constraint was, the more gratifying is the liberation from form, and therefore it is of greatest value when the human being can completely separate himself from material things, for the sooner the soul can rid itself of its burden and swing upwards. To become free from form means to become free from desire, that earthly things no longer appear desirable to him, and he has therefore overcome all matter. And then it is easy for the spirit to unfold. Matter is the obstacle of spiritual striving. It is there, actually for the human being, but should nevertheless be overcome, that is, the inclination for it must be torn out of the heart, for if the human being desires something earthly, then he, as it were, re-establishes the connection with this earthly through his wrong love and thus forms himself retrogressively. His desire is for an external form which he has already overcome, and the immature spiritual hidden in it now seeks to increase itself by drawing the already advanced spiritual into its sphere, and this again means increased desire for matter. The stay in the form should be a compulsion for the spiritual being so that it seeks to become free of it. But once it is rid of this outer form and has passed through other forms in the further phases of development, it must no longer bear a desire for those outer forms which it has already overcome. On the contrary, it must learn to despise them, that is, they must no longer mean so much to the human being that he desires them. But where the desire for matter is still very strong, one can speak of a predominance of the immature spiritual, to which the human being falls victim. The human being's will is weak and allows itself to be dominated by the spiritual in matter, thus it again falls prey to the working of satanic forces which hold matter up to the human being as a work of deception in order to prevent the striving towards God, the conscious prayer, and this power also succeeds. Then matter absorbs the already more mature spiritual substance again, so that the immature spiritual substance increases within itself, which detracts from the spiritual substance in higher development. Thus it means spiritual decline for the human being. Such a person will constantly be under the spell of what he desires. He will find it increasingly difficult to detach himself from it and gradually become a slave to that which he should control, that is overcome. Then the power which should be subject will begin to rule, and the consequence will be that the human being will rarely be able to detach himself from this power, that he will still pay homage to it in the beyond by striving for earthly goods and thinking little or nothing of his soul. In the best case, therefore, he can remain on the same level. However, there is a very real danger that the desire for earthly goods will be so great that God will respond to this desire and the spiritual substance will be incorporated into this form again, which fills its senses and thoughts. That the being will have to travel the same path and once again feel the external form as an oppressive burden until it has finally freed itself from the desire for it. Until it has finally overcome matter and only desires spiritual goods. Amen.